Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Damn, I clean up good. Hi guys, I hope you're doing well today. It is the day before Halloween. I'm excited. Are you? Look at the names are still colored a little differently. Courtney, love to see ya. So glad to see you. Sherry, thanks for your comment the other day. Appreciate that. Sorry you missed us live. You're scared of the kids running all over tomorrow night. I understand. But, you know, everybody just take heed. It's once a year. Let's all just drive slower, be a little slower, and hopefully the kids will all be safe. Right? Right. I would like to go to Key West for adult Halloween as well. Yes, please. That would be great. Do you guys like my dress? Woo! Oh, baby, that's right. Goals, goals, goals. We've set one up. We're doing one tonight. And the goal is, do I wear a costume tomorrow? Do I dress up for tomorrow? That's the question. And so, first of all, thank you to Cellulite Yoga Pants who sent me a lovely package and with this dress in it and others as well. I am so thankful. I really appreciate it. There's a bunch of other goodies in there we'll check out over the next little while. But just a huge thank you. And a huge thank you. Do we have Mischief Night tonight? No, Mischief Night is tomorrow, Sherry. That's the night when the kids get to be mischievous. I feel a little mischievous tonight, but do you know what we're going to watch tonight? We're going to finally finish the TPO hearings from Monday. Cellulite Yoga Pants sent me this dress. It's so cute. I would stand up, but it'll fuck up the green screen. We know how it works, but you know what I mean. I love it. It's so great. It's super comfortable. And thank you to Cellulite Yoga Pants. She also sent me some candy, the kind that I really loved last time, the dippin' one. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Before Halloween when kids steal pumpkin and toilet paper trees. Well, I live in hippy dippy Canada, so people, I don't know, maybe they just set off like firecrackers. I don't know. Kids don't usually fuck around with me. I'm not to be trifled with. I'll fucking chase them down. But like I've told the story before, my old neighbor used to run a crazy haunted house. Anyways, that's besides the point. Let's get to the last 45 minutes of this episode, which was over 3 freaking hours. 3 freaking hours. Cellulite Yoga Pants is here. Sorry, I'm looking at something. Thank you, Cellulite.
And see no
Yoga
one
Pants.
move.
Judge, stop interrupting me. I just told you I'm not to be trifled with. Not in this dress, anyways. Thank you again, Cellulite Yoga Pants. In case you missed it, I got your package today. And first of all, I love this dress. It's so cute. Thank you. I've adapted it for my own needs. Our needs. I would call them our needs. Right? And I really appreciate it. So, anyways, I'll point it out one more time. The new YouTube function where we set goals. We've set a goal for tonight. The goal is to get me into a costume tomorrow. Now, I talked about what costume that should be at my house today, and there was mixed results. So if we get to that, I will tell you what the options are. You're not surprised I would chase him. Well, I'm actually Scottish, remember. I was born in Glasgow, so there's that. Okay, let's go over here. Remember this lady? We don't want to watch that again, ma'am. You literally gave me a headache last night. Yeah, that's how I feel too, Judge. That's how I feel too. Did Creed just finish? I mean gambling. By the way. Let's see what we've got. New case, more TPOs. Do we think there's an easement or a terrible relationship? Creed climax. Damn, Carol, the judge had to take a break after that case yesterday that we watched. I had to take a break too. I didn't feel good. Ma'am, you're laughing in court. We can see you.
No, I'm not there. Exactly.
Do you think this outfit's work appropriate, what I'm wearing? Also, remember, this is the same judge from yesterday, moments afterwards, so we'll see. I haven't had a real job in so long. Well, a real job where I'm not my boss. Yeah, Judge, take a peek. Look at him.
It looks like there's some late filings on this case also. There's a declaration from Ricardo Quintanilla, who filed that,
Yes,
and then declaration of Hagan, who filed that.
That was filed Friday night.
Okay. It
Pretty
made it,
short.
that was made, and Ricardo Quintanilla, is that yours?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I have not read either one of those.
Yes, I was just submitted last night, so.
Okay, and the one that Mr. All right, give me a minute here.
If I may, Your Honor, it was our intent to ask for a continuance this morning because of
Okay,
all of the goings on.
you,
Well, don't fucking ruin my night, lady, and get that continuance. I really hope that's not what happens, Christopher Engelby. Thank you so much. We're 2 out of 15 for our goal to get me into a Halloween costume tomorrow.
could have had me at 9. Mr. Coker.
So the problem is we object to that, Your Honor, because again, this is an employment related issue. I think the
Right.
court's seen the pleadings. The problem is there's a temporary order in place, and the only way we would agree to a continuance is if the court was to vacate the temporary order.
Hang on just a minute. No, I did see the one from Hagan. But
Not our Matthew Hagan.
so why did you, is that a, well, let me ask you, what's their basis for requesting a continuance?
I was just retained and entered a notice of appearance on this on Thursday. Then was served with a couple of declarations on Friday. I've been attempting to get in touch with witnesses, and I've spoken with 4 witnesses who are willing to talk to me or willing to talk to me further, but we were not able to get it accomplished over the weekend. This is the sole declaration that I was able to obtain over the weekend. But these are key witnesses that have relevant information.
Uh, didn't you bring this up earlier? You mentioned this when I was calling cases this morning at 9.
I would have, Your Honor, if I had known that it would be considered at that point.
So,
Lesson
well,
learned.
where we're at here is, you both folks still work there? And then what's the situation in terms of, I mean, do they have contact at work or are they?
Ms. Cloutier has been on medical leave since mid-October and is scheduled to be out until December 15th, I believe. So that's not currently a concern in terms of their coming into contact.
So,
At work.
then I guess again, the issue is either, I was sympathetic to Mr. Coker, either we'll rescind the temporary order and reset it to a date before that, or we'll proceed now.
We simply have additional.
You want me to eat some candy? Okay, I will go get some candy. Also, did you see that I pulled out my Coca-Cola, pointed at it, and then he called him Mr. Coker? I didn't even know that was his name. Nuts. All right, I'll get the candy.
Evidence we need to be able to present to the
Right.
court. So I understand.
So we'll rescind the no contact order. And so there won't be a no contact order in place. And then we'll set it for hearing. We'll give you a notice of hearing right now. And then when I'm on the bench, everyone's different. On a case like this where there's a big calendar, if you're gonna ask for a continuance, just tell me up front. So
Okay.
that way I don't have to make you wait around all morning, which, yes. Yeah. So then, and then we need a, I mean, it was set to expire today anyway. Does it expire on its own or do we need to do an order?
You don't need to do an order for that, I'll just do.
Okay, but then, but make sure that the order, the docket entry, that the order is not in place.
Correct. And Your Honor, if I can just address that really quickly. So the reason we didn't is because I'm hearing there's this additional evidence.
Right,
What I think the court's gonna find in a week or whenever we reset this is the declarations from Mr. Hagan
right.
and Mr. And Mitch McMahon were the two people that were there. So what we're gonna maybe see is more accusations from this petitioner, which I don't know what it's gonna say.
All right.
But if you looked at an individual named Ricardo, his declaration was, well, we heard this, we have the police reports from the police department that says the only reason we're here is because she was unhappy with the way that Sherwin-Williams responded to this. So then 2 weeks
Right.
later, she goes to the police. So again, I appreciate the court's.
The paint company, Sherwin-Williams? Beverly, thank you. Chris, thank you. Thank you and bye-bye. Shane, thank you so much. Look at us. We're a third of the way there to getting me in a costume tomorrow. Also, damn. First of all, there's so many different kinds of candy. Yes, we will thank Cellulite Yoga Pants later. But I'm going to thank you now for this mango one that I fucking loved. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Sending the no contact
Rescinding no
order, and I
contact
will
order.
tell you one thing, we do these on 2-month rotation. My rotation ends on Halloween, so it'll probably be in front of Commissioner Wall, just so you both know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough. Thank you.
May I
I haven't
request,
taken any testimony, so I don't need to carry this case with me, although I have reviewed the stuff. Yes, ma'am?
may I request a 2-week continuance to November 11th?
And Your Honor,
It won't be November 11th
Yeah.
because that's a Monday, it's a holiday.
Oh.
It could be November 12th or the 18th.
this
Or do you
is,
want this done quickly?
I'd like this done quickly.
All right.
Again, there's some other issues that are going to be occurring potentially from the actions of the petitioner here. So this is something we need to deal with pretty quickly. We'd ask for 1 week.
We can be back here on November 4th.
Thank you.
You can, that's enough time for to get things in.
I would like to issue a subpoena ducis tecum, and I expect that if I do that today, I could receive the materials next
Okay.
Monday.
Then do your best. And so you're going to get a notice of a hearing. Once you get that, you're free to go. We'll see you next Monday.
Great, thank you. And we'll wait for it.
And then there's someone on the iPad. What's your name? You're just listed as an iPad?
Alan Bowen,
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
Alan Bowen.
Okay, thanks. You can go ahead and mute back up. So Ms. McGinley, Ms. Benton, and Mr. Lindsay can all come on the Zoom call. Mr. Lindsay, I'm kind of, I can't really see you there. I'm seeing like a fuzzy lights.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Hi there.
To in just a second.
Okay. So hang on just a minute. I'm going to let the clerk get caught up.
Oh, thank you, Judge. Oh my God, I love it. I love this candy. We got Michelle, we got Byron, we got Lori. What's going on? Easement, workplace. We don't know. Also, please like the video. It really helps with YouTube, Daddy.
Okay, but now
I
we're
try.
done. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. So just my understanding, I'm going to read my understanding of where we're at here. This is not new case in the sense that a couple of years ago, I'm not sure I don't have the correct rate written down, an order was entered, a hearing was held in front of Judge Buckley. There was another person who apparently is not here today, but there were 3 folks who got orders against Mr. Lindsay. They were 2-year orders, and those orders expired. And now that they have expired, my understanding is that activity is starting to reoccur. So it's going to, excuse me, what's going to happen, Mr. Lindsay, is I'm going to swear in each one of the petitioners. I'll hear from both first, then I'll swear you in, and I'll hear your response. So
Yeah,
Ms.
I'm gonna be
McGinley, just
asking for
because,
an extension up front, just to let you know.
what's that?
I will be asking for an extension up front as you.
What's the basis of that?
I was not served until the 17th in the late evening. And that left me 1 day to process all this information and put together evidence and submit it.
Give me just a moment.
Hi, Tiny Piggy. It is candy sent to me
And
by
then I guess
Judge.
temporaries have been
You're
entered.
so rude. Please don't interrupt me like that. This candy is Lucas Muecas Mango. But Cellulite Yoga Pants has sent me really, a bunch of them. How lucky for us all. But I love this mango one. Are you getting an ick vibe from me, Wahoo, or the people on the screen? I probably should tone it down. Oh, look, it fits on your finger. It's like an extra long ring pop.
I believe. I'm going to double check that.
Yeah, I did receive temporary
Okay,
orders.
no, it's just, I mean, that wasn't a question. I'm just speaking out loud for the record.
Okay.
And so, and again, I guess Miss McGinley, I wish folks would pipe up at the beginning of the calendar when I'm taking attendance, when they make that request, because we've been here all morning. Ms. McGinley, I'll hear from you, and then I'll hear from Ms. Benton. I'll be blunt with you both. I typically allow one continuance in these sorts of situations. It'll move to the next rotation. It probably won't be in front of me, but you might be back in front of Judge Buckley again, Mr. Lindsay. And so I'm not sure exactly. And so, Ms. McGinley, I'll hear from you first, and I'll hear from Ms. Benton.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to read my statement, if that's okay.
Well, I just want you to address the continuance request.
Oh, gotcha.
See how it's having me doing, and then the temporaries will stay in place. And then we'll reconvene here in a couple of weeks. So an order will be in place. So go ahead, I'll hear from you.
I do not see the need, in my opinion, for continuance. That's my opinion.
Ms. Benton, I'll hear from you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm in agreement. I don't see a need for continuation. This is something that has been going on for 5 years. It started in 2019. He has started this harassment back up. And I don't see a need for continuation from my perspective.
So what sort of evidence do you plan to present there, Mr. Lindsay?
Okay.
I mean, again,
so-
because they submitted a lot of the stuff from the old file, which is quite thick. And so,
Yeah,
and it seems to me like, again, what's alleged, the new contact is just rehashing old stuff. And I saw how that went last time.
Right. And it looked to me like the new stuff was from an account that I don't recognize, and all the new evidence they submitted, I don't recognize. And so I have put out emails to those folks that they're saying have emailed them. And I
So
actually
you're
have been-
saying that, well, hang on just a second. So you're saying that all this new stuff, this is not coming from you?
Right. I moved away.
Okay, so hang on just a second. If
Right.
that's the case, then what's the objection to the no contact order? You've been with no contact order for the last couple of years and things went fine. And so what's the harm in doing a new order? I mean, if you're not contacting them and if somebody is, then, that's their problem.
Well, and there would be no harm in a temporary order either, so that I could bring the evidence.
But the issue is also, time. We've sat around here all morning and I'm ready to go. I've reviewed the stuff. Sounds like they're
You haven't
pretty
reviewed-
adamant about going
You
right
haven't
now.
had a chance to review anything that I have, because it says here that you need to submit evidence 1 week prior to the hearing so that all parties have the
Yeah, that's true.
opportunity.
I know. But my
Yeah.
question was, what possible evidence could you give at this point?
Well, if they're submitting evidence that isn't me and I moved away 5 years ago and I've had no contact with them whatsoever, then why would the courts even issue an order against me at all?
Well, because they're saying that there has been contact
And
from,
there has been,
and there's
and I can
evidence
prove
that it
that.
was
I can
from
prove
you.
that there hasn't been contact. That's easy to prove.
All right. So Ms. McGinley, Ms. Benton, primarily out of an abundance of caution to protect the record, to not create an issue for future litigation, we'll reset this for 3 weeks and the order will stay in place. And so again, I don't want to, because if I deny this and then that creates appellate issues and so forth, and I just want to eliminate all that, and I would just rather resolve all this for once and for all, so you don't have to put up with it anymore. And so we'll that's 3 weeks. So we'll reconvene on November 18th. And Mr. Lindsay, a hearing is going to occur on that date.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then a copy of this order reissuing will get sent to, do we have an
Okay.
email for him? Yeah, it'll get sent to everyone's email. I apologize to everyone that you had to wait around all morning for not much to happen today. We'll be back here on November 18th. And Mr. Lindsay, I'm going to say again, an order is in place.
Yep.
And so
I
it better
understand.
not be violated.
Right. Understood. 5 years understood.
We'll see you back here on the 18th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. The judge is basically pushing it all off till the next week. But you know what? Whoa. Rumble. as you guys know, I am a personal chef to an asshole in his 40s. I did inform him tonight I would not be cooking. I think I did 3 times. But he just proceeded to yell at me, "Where's dinner?" That's why you're single. Nobody. That's not why. Because I'm going to make a delicious dinner later for myself. When I'm done. All right, Judge, what's next?
Okay, so Mr. Burke and Ms. Frisbee can come on the Zoom call. You can come up and sit there, ma'am. Ms. Marquez.
Oh, I've told him all about you. Folks, you're in a fucking garage with a ladder as your background. You had 3 hours to figure this out. What are you doing other than drugs?
So before we start there, I just want to say, Ms. Frisbee, I know last time when we were here, I hope you're feeling okay. You had kind of a, for lack of a better term, an episode when you were here, which was distressing. And like I say, I hope you're feeling okay today.
Unfortunately, no, I have not. I've been having continuous seizures, unfortunately, since that day and have been hospitalized several times.
Okay. Are you feel like you're okay enough where we can proceed here today? I don't want to put you any unusual or undue stress and trauma, but
I'm going to try to go through it, but I am going to let you know we will need a continuance due to the fact that the new evidence that the petitioner had sent was not disclosed until this morning to us. We had checked yesterday and it was not there. This morning, there was new evidence from the petitioner, and we have not had a chance to take a look through all of it,
when did you
as there
file it?
seems to be several duplicates.
I just
and
got back to
also-
Washington.
I see. So there's a series of text messages, is that correct?
That's from his mom, yes.
Okay.
And pictures. I had a problem with like uploading the videos, so I couldn't upload that.
All right. I saw those over the weekend too. There's a lot there. Who filed the video evidence on the 13th and?
They did.
Yeah, I couldn't make head nor tails of that. All right, so here's what's gonna happen today, ma'am. I know you've been here all morning. Sorry about that. But we're gonna have to come back one more time, and this will be it. There'll be no more continuances after this. You understand that, Mr. Frisbee, Ms. Burke?
Miss Frisbee and Mr. Burke, and yes, and thank you so
Sorry
much,
about
so
that.
that way we can see all the evidence.
And this will be it. There won't be any more continuances after this.
That's-
And the temporary order is still in place.
I just have one question.
And then Ms. Marquez had a question. Go ahead, ma'am.
So their evidence is majority not relevant to our case?
Then that's save that for argument for the judge, whoever that may be, which may not be me.
Okay.
We'll give you a copy of this, and this will be on November 18th
Not really.
at 9 a.m. Do we have their email? Ms. Burke, or I know I did it again. Sorry about that. Mr. Burke, Ms. Frisbee, do we have your email?
I believe you do have my husband's.
Okay.
I mean, I can email it to them, otherwise they can get it off our website.
Said, or you can get a copy of it off the website. And so we'll see you back here on November 18th.
All righty, thank you so much, Judge.
We can give you this right now.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and send it.
She was fucking weird, you guys. That affect was off. But remember the girl that had the weird seizure in the chair a
That's all
couple
right.
weeks ago? Maybe that's
And
her
then
normal demeanor.
we're going to give you a copy of that. So Mr. and Ms. Bowen can come on the Zoom call. And Mr. Holscher.
Oh, sir, that's a terrible angle. Believe me, you want to go up and down to the cleavage and the chins. Okay. Also, who had a ceiling fan on their bingo card?
So Ms. Bowen, and then there was another, well, the iPad disappeared. Was that you?
Yes, I'm on here, sir.
Okay, which one are you? So you're Mr. Bowen.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you can hold that up a little bit. I mean, it's kind of an odd angle there. Much better. Mr. Holscher, could you come on the Zoom call, please?
Yes, I'm here.
Could you activate your camera, please? Okay, so Ms. Bowen, this is your petition, although I may hear from, it doesn't look like you're Mr. Bowen is listed as a petitioner. So I'm going to swear you in. I'll hear from you. And then if you wish me to have me hear from Mr. Bowen, I will do that. And then I'll hear from Mr. Holscher. And then following that, I'll make a decision as to whether or not an order should be entered. So could you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
You can put your hand down. And how is it you need an order against Mr. Holscher?
Well, sir, he's been harassing me for several years. It all started when we both worked for the Attorney General's office years ago. And he started putting complaints into me with my management. And anyway, since then, he was let go from the Attorney General's office back in, I believe it was 2013, and I have not seen
I know, and
him.
I read his response. He said he retired, but I'll give him a chance to respond. And I'm just letting you know, Mr. Holscher, I did read that. Go ahead, Ms. Bowen, continue on.
So anyways, I have not seen him or spoken to him since then. Up until last Thanksgiving, got a phone call, and he called twice that day, which I proceeded to block him. And then he somehow got my husband's phone number as well and started calling him. And he also blocked his cell number, but it still shows up as unknown caller. So we have both switched it over to silence unknown calls, but he is still able to leave voicemail messages. So since last Thanksgiving, it has gotten worse and worse and worse, what he's calling multiple times a day. And the voicemails that he's leaving.
So hang on just a second. So he says, again, these are the examples, you know, you're dead, you're effing dead. Retards get their heads pounded in.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control your wife. You're going to effing pay for it. And then that's just kind of a sample. Are those, what are those? Are those examples of voicemails?
Yes, sir, they are. And
okay. Continue on, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. So with that being said, he's just constantly calling and leaving just horrendous messages. We have not responded at all. And he did say that, you know, he Googled, that's how he got our phone numbers. And I Googled myself at that point, and, you know, everything's on there. But anyways, it's just progressively gotten very much just worse to where, you know, he's saying that, you know, you're dead. And the most recent is right before he got served was that pretty much wait until he gets his car fixed. Hey, Al, you're effing dead. Okay, buddy, you're dead, Al. And it just goes on and it just won't stop. So
isn't that a weird kind of threat? You just wait until I get my car fixed and my license reinstated and insurance on my vehicle and gas money. And then, then you should be scared.
we want the phone calls and the harassment to stop.
You know, he had said that, and I'm gonna hear from him in a minute. And then that you had contact in Las Vegas or some such thing. What was that?
No, I've never seen him in Las Vegas.
Okay. And then I'm going to hear in from Mr. Bowen, and then I'll hear from you, Mr. Holscher. Mr. Bowen, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. Let me hear from you. What's your position on all of this?
My position is I've never met the guy. He calls and he speaks like he knows me. And anyways, I just want I'm a superintendent for a construction outfit. So I take all the phone calls because I don't know who could be calling me, school districts, architects, engineers, and things like that. So I would answer the phone, and the minute I would answer the phone, it would be John speaking all of this just kind of odd things to me. So I finally got to the point where I just had to block them because I'm tired of picking up the phone and getting they're the same messages over and over and over. And they're always, here's my phone number, call me. So I guess we can, yell at one another on the phone. Then they've become, threatening and all this stuff. Anyways, and it's puzzling because I've never met the guy. And I know nothing about him anyway. And then lately now they've just gotten worse and worse, threatening to beat people up, kill us, you name it. We got all the records of all the phone calls. So anyway, that's what we just want it to end. I've never had to deal with anything like this.
All right, Mr. Holscher.
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your response to you can put your hand down. What's your response to what you've heard?
Well, have you read my response documents?
I have, yes.
Okay, so I don't need to reiterate those.
But I do want you to address one thing, because I asked Ms. Bowen about it. She said, in your responsive document, said she stalks me in Las Vegas. She says, I don't know what he's talking about. So why do you think that?
Because I saw her stalking me down in Las Vegas.
I mean, what do you mean? Did you just happen to see someone that was her, like in a casino or something? Or what?
Yep.
What did she come up and did this person come up and talk to you or call you or what exactly?
She was following me in her car, and she came up behind me, and then she drove by me, and I saw it was her for sure.
In Las Vegas?
Yes.
You never had any personal contact with her?
Not in Las Vegas, no.
So, what about these phone calls? Or well, actually, let me back. When did that happen? The Vegas thing?
It was when I retired from the Attorney General's office. So
like a couple of years ago?
Probably about 2014.
Okay. So what, and then have you seen her since then?
Just when I've seen her stalking me.
She's following you around?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But have you had any interpersonal talk to her?
I tried to, it's expressed. I called them on Thanksgiving. I called Al. I talked to him. I was being very polite. And he said, "You're lucky I don't come over there and pound your head in. You're just a little pipsqueak." I was being very respectable, asking him to kindly have his wife please stop stalking me. That was the only time I had a voice conversation with him directly, as opposed as what he's stating. Every time he would pick up the phone, I would be on the phone calling to talk to him. I only spoke with him over the phone one time. So the following voicemails, I was asking him to please have his wife stop stalking me. And that was the purpose of each and every call. And I gave him my phone number. I wanted to speak to him man to man. He would not call me back. So that's why I pursued. I was never asked not to ever call them again. I was trying to have his wife stop stalking me. That was the intention of my calls. So I told him if he's not going to call me back, then I will call his wife and ask her to stop stalking me. So every time I left a voicemail with her, I was asking her to please stop stalking me. That was the legitimate intent of each call, purpose.
Okay. On a Ms. Bowen, I'll come back to you. Anything you wish to respond to what you just heard?
Yes, there is. It's all, that's just all lies. I haven't talked to him since he was retired. We're tired of being called retard, chicken shit. I have fetal alcohol syndrome. We're pathetic, we're losers. I'm disgusting, grotesque. I'm a retarded fat pig. My husband is a effing punk bitch, fag wimp. And I could go on and on and on. And we do not respond to any of these. Nothing that he has said is true. So he keeps telling my husband to say, tell your wife to get off me, leave me alone. I haven't seen him or talked to.
Are we not at the criminal point here, guys? What, can't they just call the police? Like, usually we hear these cases where the cops, they're maybe put in a spot like, oh, we're just not quite sure. This seems pretty fucking... Oh, did you hear that? Apparently there is some mischief going on tonight. A little explosion here, a little explosion there. Hello, Mr. Polay. Yes, paging Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker, you're being paged for an act. Please call 5150. Mr. Baker, please call 5150.
Him in over 10 years. So I don't know where this is all coming from.
Okay.
Back when he was harassing me at the office, at the AG's office, we had 2 meetings, and to confront what he was telling my manager I was doing to him. And during the first meeting, I think it was the HR person said, do you have anything to say? And he goes, I have nothing to say. So when confronted, he won't say anything. So anyway, when we moved to the Tumwater building, we were placed on separate sides of the office. And there was one point when we were at the other office, when all this happened, he was asked that we not talk to each other unless the supervisor is present. And that very day, when my supervisor left for lunch, he came around the corner and said, Stacy, can we talk? And I said, absolutely not. And anyways, I thought it was over years ago. I don't appreciate him threatening that my husband, you're dead. I don't like that at all. And where he's saying, if she wants to commit suicide, just tell her to do it. I'm not going to be her scapegoat. She wants someone to kill her. I have all of these on voicemails. I contacted the Tumwater police numerous times. I do have a case number for that. He did come over last Saturday. He took a lot of the voicemails that Mr. Holscher has left. So I do have a case with the Tumwater Police Department.
All right. So, Mr. Holscher,
So that is the pause of a judge who is filling out paperwork against you. Just so you know, John. This is scary. This is a serious situation for these people. This guy might end up in jail, depending on how he reacts. We'll see how it goes. She's getting the order for sure. For fucking sure.
And then were you served by personal service, Mr. Holscher? Did someone come to your place and deliver you these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not sure what's going on. You know, we have, you know, when you sit in this position, you know, I have to listen to testimony. I listen to both sides, and sometimes two people are speaking, both of them are saying things, they both can't be true. So I have to sit around and decide, you know, what's happening, what's not, and that's just based on testimony. And I'm not sure what is happening, but what I'm very confident that is not happening is that Ms. Bowen is not stalking you. And I think somehow that you have it somehow in your belief system that is happening. It is not. It just is not. And so I'm going to sign an order. It's going to exist for 2 years. You're not to have any contact with her at all. And that includes, even though he's not a petition, if you contact Mr. Bowen for the purpose of getting a hold of Ms. Bowen, I think a lot of people would consider that a violation. Do you understand that? So you need to realize she cannot be a part of your life. You just have to let this go and move forward. And again, there's no evidence whatsoever that she is stalking you. That is just not happening.
Can I give can I contest that at all with my opinion on your judgment?
Your
judgment?
Your opinion's well stated in what you filed. But in terms of, again, what the hearing is, I'm making a finding is that that did not happen based on her testimony. I'm also making a finding that the contact that, as described on the record and in the file, in terms of the recordings on the voicemail, as well as things you said directly to Mr. Bowen, that is harassing. That's very harassing to these individuals, and it needs to stop now.
I did not say I was going to kill Al Bowen. I was asking him.
Okay, that's fine. But you said some things. You said some things, and again, apparently that's been referred to the police department. That's going to be dealt with there. What I'm signing, any contact, any telephone calls at all, even close to what it's harassing. People don't want to be called about this sort of thing, particularly when it's unjustified and not true. So again, the order says you're not to do that. And if you call them or contact them, you will be in violation of this order, and you'd be subjecting yourself to additional trouble. I need you to understand that.
Sir, the direct threat was taken out of context. My context was, in most stalking cases, what happens is one person ends up being killed. And I said, do you realize that may be what happens? One of us may end up being killed. That was my intention of the only threat I gave them.
Okay. Do you understand? I don't think you understand. Well, first of all, you should understand how disturbing those comments are to everyone, and me, and I'm sure the Bowings. That's incredibly disturbing. Because, and the other thing is, what I want you to understand is the parameters of this order, and what, again, all I can do is enter this order. And there's definitely a showing that this order is appropriate, and I'm going to sign the order. And for the next 2 years, you're not to contact them at all. I need you to understand this.
Per your definition of the RCW, it said without a legitimate purpose. My legitimate
Right.
purpose was to have the stalking dismissed. That was my legitimate purpose. And the only threat I made was taken out of context that one of us may end up being dead.
Do you understand you are not to contact them? And you know, I've made my ruling. I've done this order. Any ruling I make here is subject to appeal. You're welcome to appeal it if you wish, but this is the finding that I'm making today based on what's been presented today. Do you understand this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. That'll conclude the hearing. And then you can get a copy of this off the Thurston County District Court website, and the Bowens can be done the same. And if you have an email address there, Mr. Holscher, you can, a copy of this will get sent to you.
Okay.
And I really hope you take to heart, probably not as much as the Bowens hope, the parameters of this order. They're not just not a part of your life.
I don't want anything to do with them.
Then we're all on the same page. Great. You're free to leave, and then you're all free to leave the Zoom call.
Thank you. Your
And
Honor.
again, this order is for 2 years.
Thank you.
Do you know how rare it is for him to put an order in place for 2 years? Mikey does. Mikey, thank you. Doing your part. I don't know that we're going to get there tonight. We'll see. But it is very unusual that he gave them a 2-year protection order. They never do that. In fact, they're constantly telling people it's the default of the court that we give 1 year, and then if there is contact, then you can reapply back with the court. But I don't know that I've ever heard of him giving this just on his own to somebody, a 2-year one. But this guy obviously needs some help, but there's no mechanism to require people to get mental health evaluations in this court. It's not a criminal court. He's not subject to the jurisdiction in the same way, but he is subject to the court order. And so he cannot contact her or him. I worry. Like I said before, how he reacted would tell me. No, Creed does not use any of these again. So maybe we will make it. What costume do we think that Paisley should wear for Halloween? Thank you, by the way. I love the communication via Super Chat. It's one of my personal favorites. Also, the judge was so firm. Like, I want to go back and listen to that again, where he told him, like, without a doubt, this lady's not stalking you. Not stalking you. I think that was like here. Also, it says that it's your first Super Chat on a live stream, Mikey, but I happen to know that's patently false because you happen to give me my first Super Chat on this channel. So that doesn't make any sense.
I did not say I was going to kill Al Bowen. I was asking him.
Okay, that's fine, but you said some things. You said some things, and again, that apparently that's been referred to the police department. That's going to be dealt with there. What I'm signing, any contact, any telephone calls at all, even close to what it's harassing. People don't want to be called about this sort of thing, particularly when it's unjustified and not true. So again, the order says you're not to do that. And if you call them or contact them, you will be in violation of this order and you'd be subjecting yourself to additional trouble. I need you to understand that.
Sir, the direct threat was taken out of context. My context was, in most stalking cases, what happens is one person ends up being killed. And I said, do you realize that may be what happens? One of us may end up being killed. That was my intention of the only threat I
Look at NPC gifted 5 memberships and We Got a Chase got one. Oh, the YouTube, like, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Actually, Mikey, I was going to say I like the new logo for We Got a Case Court Watch. It looks really good. I know I didn't go back far enough, Ed, but guess what? I'll do it right now. Yeah, I'll do it right now. Right here. He's like,
He did come over
this.
last Saturday. He took a lot of the voicemails that Mr. Holscher has left. So I do have a case with the Tumwater Police Department.
All right.
YouTube Daddy overlooked that their membership gifts, they can't go towards the goal. That's so silly.
So Mr. Holscher,
I'm sorry to hear that, John. R.I.P. Raja. F in the chat for Rajas. Mike, I love I love how you did that there.
and then were you served by personal service, Mr. Holscher? Did someone come to your place and deliver you these documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not sure what's going on. You know, we have, you know, when you sit in this position, you know, I have to listen to testimony. I listen to both sides, and sometimes two people are speaking, both of them are saying things, they both can't be true. So I have to sit around and decide, you know, what's happening, what's not, and that's just based on testimony. And I'm not sure what is happening, but what I'm very confident that is not happening is that Ms. Bowen is not stalking you. And I think somehow that you have it somehow in your belief system that is happening. It is not. It just is not. And so I'm going to sign an order. It's going to exist for 2 years. You're not to have any contact with her at all. And that includes, even though he's not a petition, if you contact Mr. Bowen for the purpose of getting a hold of Ms. Bowen, I think a lot of people would consider that a violation. Do you understand that? So you need to realize she cannot be a part of your life. You just have to let this go and move forward. And again, there's no evidence whatsoever that she is stalking you. That is just not happening.
Can I give can I contest that at all with my opinion on your judgment?
Your opinion,
on your judgment?
Your opinion's well stated in what you filed. But in terms of, again, what the hearing is, I'm making a finding is that that did not happen based on her testimony. I'm also making a finding that the contact that, as described on the record and in the file, in terms of the recordings on the voicemail, as well as things you said directly to Mr. Bowen, that is harassing. That's very harassing to these individuals, and it needs to stop now.
I did not say I was going to kill Al Bowen. I was asking him.
Okay, that's fine. But you said some things. You said some things, and again, apparently that's been referred to the police department. That's going to be dealt with there. What I'm signing, any contact, any telephone calls at all, even close to what it's harassing. People don't want to be called about this sort of thing, particularly when it's unjustified and not true. So again, the order says you're not to do that. And if you call them or contact them, you will be in violation of this order and you'd be subjecting yourself to additional trouble. I need you to understand that.
Sir, the direct threat was taken out of context. My context was, in most stalking cases, what happens is one person ends up being killed.
And that's just such a creepy thing to say, sir. Anyways, I found something else to watch. We'll watch one more hearing I think we haven't watched yet. We'll have to see. It's Grumpy Braunlick. And then we'll say goodnight for the night. But seriously, context, I don't think would make this case much better. Nope. The judge is like freaked out for these people. I think it was, I can't remember. Yeah, we already dealt with him. I think we dealt with them. So that means this is the one that we didn't do yet. No, we did him too. Not in that way.
He should be right out.
Yeah, you always say
Okay.
that. Oh, I know where. No, I didn't do that yet.
Sorry.
We'll just watch this again.
The matter of Don Reagan versus Stephen Chapman.
For the record, this matter is before the court on the defendant to file his objection to a referee recommended order modifying parenting time. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. Good morning. You're Stephen Chapman Jr.
Correct. Good morning.
When Mr. Chapman is present, is Dawn Reagan present? An audio. It appears that she is Miss Reagan. Oh, there she is. Yes. Right. You are Dawn Reagan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it Reagan or Regan?
Regan.
Regan. All right. Good morning, Miss Regan.
Good morning.
We definitely watched this. We're gonna watch it again because I don't remember exactly, but I remember her saying this. I think she's the problem. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I remember. It's their kid's birthday this weekend. She's gonna stay with Dad on the 9th till like next weekend, and then she starts going to Mom's because he's already got a birthday party planned for her. But we're gonna watch it anyways. Yay!
Two of you have confirmed at the front of the court this morning. The front of the court has provided the court with fine recommendation that the referee recommended be adopted but modified. Namely, the party shall exchange a minor child at the Speedway gas station on Plymouth Road in Ann Arbor. And the exchange times will be Fridays at 5 p.m. and Sunday at 5 p.m. The balance of the recommended order would be adopted as an order of the court, namely summers will be week on, week off parenting time. We've clarified where the exchanges will occur in Ann Arbor, or actually, I'm sorry, in Ann Arbor on Plymouth Road. Mr. Chapman, do you have any objection to the court adopting this recommendation this morning?
No, I do not. My only question is so for Miss Regan, who is going to be picking up and dropping off our child?
Certainly, it's a legitimate question. Ms. Regan,
My
will
mother.
not be able to be there for the exchanges?
I work on Fridays until between 7 and 9. So my mom has been picking her up. And then she drops her off after we go to church.
Mr. Chapman, is that acceptable that maternal grandmother pick up?
Yes, yeah, that's what we've been doing in the past anyhow. So that works
Ms.
perfect.
Regan, as a courtesy, if anyone other than your mother picks up, dad should know. Dad should know who's picking up the child.
He knows.
Well, if he knew, he wouldn't be asking the question.
No, he just stated that's what's been going on. He knows.
Okay,
He's the
but
one that asked.
my comment was, if it's changed in the future, your mother's not available, you should inform Mr. Chapman who will be picking up your 7-year-old, okay?
Yep.
Just courtesy. Okay, now what's your relationship with Michael Wingle? Is he out of the picture?
Yes.
Okay, because Michael Wingle should not be present during any of your parenting time.
He's not even present when she's not here.
All right, so if he stops over to visit, you can't open the door, can't let him come in if your child's there. Is that understood?
Yes.
Do you live with your mother?
No, with my father.
Okay. Okay, so who do you live with? Just yourself
My father.
and your father? Okay, all right. So rather than mother parenting time, meet Friday after school, it'll be at 5 p.m. at the Speedway, correct?
Yes.
And parenting time, summer should be week on, week off. Presumably Sundays at 5 are usually a good time to do those exchanges. If in fact issues develop, either one of you can petition the court to modify this parenting time.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Chapman, do you have any questions for the court?
No, so it'll be every weekend. My only, this is gonna sound weird, but so this weekend I actually have a birthday party lined up for our daughter, over at our place. Is that acceptable to do this weekend, or do we need to make this go into effect right away?
No, let's address these matters today. So you're to have a pre-scheduled planned activity with your child.
Right, I wasn't sure how this was gonna turn out, so.
Okay. Well, we can specify that this parenting time would take effect then on the following weekend. Is that any objection to that, Ms. Regan?
No.
Okay. Who met for the front court?
I did.
Good morning, Mr. Pratt.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Can you add just sense of this at this schedule? Your mom's parenting time will begin on November 1st.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that'll address that. So child will be with dad this weekend, since there's a planned activity with the child, and mom's parenting time will begin. You'll meet at 5 o'clock on Friday, November 1st. Understood for both of you?
Yes.
Yes.
We will clarify that in this order. If there's nothing further, the court will adopt this recommendation as modified, and you both mailed a copy. And good effective communication is the key. There's enough challenges in life. Make it good for each other and your child.
Yep.
Make the exchanges pleasant so there's no drama issues. All right, that will conclude this matter. You can both zoom out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, thank you, he said. Thank you, next. You think alcohol was involved in that? Probably. That pairing of those two. I do appreciate you coming tonight. I'm sad we didn't meet our goal. I really appreciate that we tried. But we already met our goal yesterday, and so that means tomorrow there will be a kitchen stream where I am making a delicious fall recipe that is so simple that you might even be able to make it at home along with me. The recipe only calls for a butternut squash, and we're gonna make it into yummy fry type things, fries with seasoning on them. So you'll have almost all of those ingredients in your house except for the butternut squash, but I mean, you can get that or whatever. Anyways, so that's the plan for tomorrow morning. Keep an eye out for that. It'll be in the morning before I go to the gym. Then so perhaps I guess we could give it a try tomorrow. Perhaps if I do a goal of 10 tomorrow, then it'll, I don't know, work out. I want to give you guys a chance to see the costume. Just joking. Anyways, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Fall finally starts tomorrow in Texas, really. You know, the temperature today has been cold. There was a wind warning all day, and now it's 46 degrees and mostly cloudy. So that sort of sucks. But thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. It's also Halloween tomorrow, so I don't know how we should celebrate that, but we should. I'll do some thinking about it tonight. I'll leave it to me to leave it to the last minute. Anyways, you guys are making me laugh today. Also, I really like how the colors change on the side. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And remember that I love you. I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. She says as she looks for the right thing. Bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.